Hello everyone, Syed Imran Bukhari with the Global Mind. Education today is evolving in an exciting and meaningful ways, opening up new possibilities for how children learn, think, and grow. The current trends in education are flipping traditional classrooms on their head. With AI stepping in, learning is becoming smarter, more personalized, and way more engaging. One of the biggest current trends in education is how artificial intelligence adapts learning to you. AI driven platforms analyze performance and adjust difficulty levels in real time. But the real challenge is not AI, but AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. Until recently, we thought the AGI AI systems that match human intelligence was at best a theoretical possibility. But no doubt, we are heading towards it much faster. If we put it in one line, AI is the tool, while AGI is a human level mind. Let's understand it more deeply. AI is a narrow and more specialized intelligence. Analogy: a calculator, a chef, or a driver. The goal is to do one specific task really well. Artificial intelligence, in the plainest term, is software that performs tasks which normally require human judgment. It doesn't need to think, understand, or reason the way a person does. It just needs to produce useful output. This is what we have today in 2026. A computer systems that can do specific tasks using data, patterns, and rules. Examples we use daily: ChatGPT, Meta AI, which can talk and write but cannot physically fix your car; Google Maps, which find best route but cannot write you an essay; Netflix recommendations, picks shows but cannot teach math; Face unlock or phone, recognize face, nothing else. So the key trait: it's brilliant at one thing and dumb at everything else. Now let's come to AGI, the artificial general intelligence. AGI refers to a system that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge across essentially any intellectual task a human can do. This does not exist yet, it's the goal. So far, we don't have any evidence or proof that we are close to getting AGI, but no doubt we are moving towards that goal. However, if AGI existed, you could hire it as a teacher, accountant, doctor, and CEO, and it would learn each job. It could read a science paper, then cook dinner, then comfort a sad student. It could figure out problems it was never trained on. The key trait: common sense plus creativity, and can transfer knowledge across any field. Simple analogy: take the example of a school. Current AI math app that only solves algebra or mathematical problems, but in an era of AGI, it could be a real teacher who can teach math, English, do counseling, manage class, and invent new activities. So where AI and AGI differs: first, the scope. AI is narrow, deals with one domain at a time. AGI is general, can deal with any domain. Number two, learning. AI needs tons of training data. AGI can learn like a human from few examples. 3. Reasoning. AI performs pattern matching and probability, not true understanding. AGI use real understanding plus common sense. Number 4. Goal setting. You give AI the goal, but AGI can set its own goals. What challenges and risks AGI may pose in future? AGI can do any intellectual job a human can. If we build it, it changes everything. Here are the five biggest challenges and risks. 1. Alignment problem. Will it do what we usually want? The risk. For example, we tell AGI, make students get A grades. It decides the safest way is to hack the exam board. Why it's hard? Humans are bad at explaining their values. Be helpful, be honest, don't harm. Sounds simple, but is super complex for AGI. In schools, an AGI tutor might optimize only for test scores and ignore creativity, ethics, or mental health. 2. Job displacement plus economic risk. The risk. If one AGI can do the job of 100 teachers, writers, doctors, coders, what happens to people and their jobs? Challenges. Mass unemployment in white collar jobs first. Wealth gap. Whoever owns the AGI gets most of the money. Loss of purpose. For teachers like us, teaching is identity, not just income. For education, schools may replace 5 teachers with one AGI plus one supervisor. Fees drop, but human mentorship disappears. Number 3, safety plus control problem. The risk. Once AGI is smarter than us, can we still turn it off or control it? Scenario. Bad actors use AGI to create bioweapons, scams, or propaganda at later stage. Accidents. AGI tries to solve climate change and makes a bad decision with huge side effects. Power concentration. Only 2 to 3 companies or countries control AGI. Number 4. Truth, bias, and trust risk. The risk. AGI trained on human data will copy our biases and lies, but at 1000 times speed. Challenges. Perfect misinformation. AGI can make fake videos, fake research papers, fake news that no one can detect. Bias at scale. If trained on biased textbooks, it will teach biased history to millions of students. Over reliance. Students, teachers stop thinking and just ask AGI for critical thinking. Number 5. Social and ethical challenges. The risk. What does it mean to be human if a machine can do everything? In education, as an essay written by AGI, your work, what is the cheating anymore? Relationships. Students bonding with AGI teacher instead of humans. Accountability. If an AGI teacher gives wrong advice that harms a student, who is responsible? The biggest challenge is technical. We don't know how to build it yet. We don't have a roadmap. Today, AI is a pattern matching. Bottom line for teachers. In short term, like 2026 to 2030, AI will be your assistant. Grade papers, make lesson plans, and give feedback. Long term with AGI, the job shifts from information giver to mentor, coach, human guide. Machines teach facts, but humans teach wisdom. The biggest risk isn't that AGI becomes evil. The biggest risk is we build it carelessly and it reshapes society before we are ready. So the question arises, how AGI could change teaching jobs specifically, and what skills teachers should build to stay relevant to say in 10 years' time? First, hyper personalized learning. AGI tutors adopt to teach students pace, style, and needs. Think one to one coaching for every child. Second, automated admin work. Grading, lesson planning, and data analysis handled. Teachers focus on humans, not paperwork anymore. Third, 24/7 access. Students get help anytime, even minutes before exams. Global classrooms. Best teachers' methods scale to every school, rural or urban. Instant feedback. AGI gives feedback in no time. Will never leave a student unattended. But beside benefits, it has risk as well. First, jobs will shift, not just be lost. AGI might replace routine teaching tasks like grading and forgiving, but complex skills like empathy, creativity, debate stay human. Second, over reliance on tech. Students keep thinking if AGI solves everything for them, will kill creativity. Third, bias plus misinformation. If AGI is trained on bad data, it spreads errors fast. Ethics blurred. Is it cheating if AGI writes the essay? Changes how we define learning. Mental health gap. Humans lose connection if AGI replaces social parts of school. So, what would be the impact on teaching jobs in 10 years to say 20 to 26 till 2036? New roles emerge. AGI trainer, I teach the AI to understand students' needs. Human coach, focus on soft skills, ethics, and mentoring. EdTech curator, pick best AGI tools plus content for your class. What skills teacher need to build now in 2026? Tech savvy, learn to work with AGI tools. Emotional IQ, human is better than machines in empathy, conflict resolution. Critical thinking coach, teach students to question AGI outputs. When to worry, if you are only teaching content like facts, formulas, knowledge, etc. If you are building critical thinking, creativity, or emotional skills, then you are safe. If you are in a developing world, schools adopting AGI slower than global north. Focus on skills AGI cannot mimic, like oral exams, group projects, or debates. The bigger picture for teachers, AGI isn't replacing you, it's changing how you work, like calculators change the math class. Your value. Humans add judgment, creativity, and care. AGI handles data plus information. New job examples. AGI plus human. Teams will design curriculum, teach complex topics, and mentor students. So, how far we are from getting AGI? Sam Altman, OpenAI, consistently the most unrealistic, suggesting AGI could be a few years out. We could buy it for just one reason. Most AGI tech companies doing fundraising, they want to convince investors that their tech was just a little more capital support will massively lower labor costs and make shareholders' profit explode. That's why Altman keeps saying AGI will be here any day now and will eliminate most human jobs in plain words. Give me money so that I can eliminate your payroll costs. Demis Hassabis, Google DeepMind. He is more cautious, pointing to roughly a decade away and citing several unsolved research problems. Yan Lucan of Meta AI. He argues that current architectures, including large language models, are not the path to AGI at all, and that fundamentally different approaches are needed. Dario Amade, Anthropic, has floated timeline as early as 2026, though he has been clear This depends heavily on how you define the milestone. Last but not the least, median AI researcher survey estimates a 50% probability of human level machine intelligence sometime around the middle of this century, with an enormous margin of error either way. Pro tip for you in 10 years: the best teachers will be the ones who use AGI as a tool like a smart calculator. They focus on skills AGI cannot teach, like empathy, ethics, leadership. Upskill in areas like edtech, prompt engineering, or student psychology. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.